Greetings, terrestrial celestial viewers. Let me sit down first and talk. Welcome to Cosmic Charlie Astronomy channel. We have my pleasure today, great pleasure, to welcome one of my lifelong buddies, Dan Higgins, Declination Dan.
How you doing?
I just want to welcome him. He's going to be aboard, hopefully, the channel permanently from now on.
Absolutely.
A permanent residence, I want to call it. But welcome. I just want to give you guys a brief introduction to me. Love astronomy and math my whole life. Teenagers, started, 8, 9 years old, looking at my sisters, Bushnell, gray tube refractor telescope with the black end and a faux wood tripod she used to have on it, and that was when my love of at least looking at the stars and planets and everything else started, and Star Trek and Star Wars being a little kid, in the 80s and, early 80s and stuff. Who wasn't into that stuff? Late 70s.
Late 70s.
Late 70s. I was going to say late 70s, early 80s. But,
some of us are older than others.
But like I said, I'm not a newbie to astronomy, a newbie to pursuing my habit. My habit. It is a habit.
It is a habit.
It is a habit. My hobby now, I should say. Just got into it again. Picked up. I got a Meade 102mm infinity refractor telescope. Actually bought at Dan's shop. Dan works at a shop here in Long Island. What's the name of it, Dan?
Camera Concepts and Telescope Solutions in Stony Brook.
In Stony Brook, Long Island. Dan works there. I picked up a little, like I said, 102mm refractor telescope. Meade, great product actually for the money. For 200 something bucks, it'll get you out there, and the views with Jupiter in it are fantastic, believe it or not. Just get a couple more eyepieces with it. The ones that come with it. Anyway. Now, yeah, he said it. I didn't want to say it. Now I bought a Celestron Nexstar 8SE telescope, Schmidt-Cassegrain design telescope. I'm in love with it. I'm hooked. Put it that way. I really am. It's great for planetary.
Absolutely.
For under $1,000, you guys can get out there. You guys can get yourself a decent scope, something decent for that type of money, and get out there and get amazing views, and start to maybe get into astrophotography. My setup, like I just told you, Celestron Nexstar 8SE. I got a ZWO ASI 120NC-S camera.
Yep.
It's a $179 little red camera, guys. But for planetary work, like I said, it might be a little noisy. I've heard in the past from other people, but for $179 and
Can't beat it.
few $100 on a decent telescope, you guys can be taking pictures yourself. You can get out there in the night sky, learn the sky, or if you don't want to, get a go-to scope, and be out there doing this for yourself. But like I said, I'm totally newbie. For me, astrophotography, I've taken about 4 photographs. They're on my social media, guys. You've probably seen a bunch of them yourselves. But enough with me. Let's welcome Declination Dan to the channel. And Dan, when did your love of astronomy start?
Basically, I started about the same. My story is very similar to yours.
All right.
About 7 years old, my uncle, who had I don't know, a Tasco, or one of those long boxes that said 425X.
Magnification.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, by the way, if you see something that says 425X,
run.
Yeah, just run. Go far away. But yeah, so it didn't even have a diagonal. It was just a straight through kind of Galileo type scope, and it was on a tripod. So if you were looking at something halfway up the sky, you're basically laying down on the ground and looking up like this. And that was when I first got my first shot of Saturn.
Okay.
And I was able to see the rings. I mean, it was only a 3-inch scope, so it was small. But you were able to see one ring.
Right, exactly.
And you're able to see.
Maybe not the Cassini division.
No, you definitely didn't see the Cassini division.
Okay.
But you saw this little white ball with the little ring around
it. It was amazing.
Somebody said, I forget, what was it, Galileo said, Jupiter has ears?
Correct.
Oh, no, Saturn has ears.
Saturn has ears,
yeah, so that's what it looked like. It looked like a head with ears on it.
Okay. But at least you saw it, you got out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're a young kid at that point, you're at your uncle's house in Long Island. What did you do next? Where'd you go from there? When did you first buy your real telescope? Your first telescope, and what was it, if you remember?
Well, my first, you were there.
So that was the first one?
That was my first one.
All right, so explain the story.
That was my first one. So, was working for McDonald's for 2 years, saved up for a scope. My mother gave me some money to fill up the balance, and trucked it out to Manhattan and picked up something very similar to what you have, and now it's an 8-inch Schmidt Cassegrain. For those of you guys who don't know it, the Schmidt Cassegrain looks like a cannon. It's not your regular looking telescope.
The one you would picture in your head when you think a telescope is not.
It's definitely not.
Exactly.
It's definitely not. But it's very versatile. It's able to do a number of things. That's why it's so popular, and it's so small, so it's very portable, so it's very nice.
Okay, so you got yourself a good 8-inch telescope. You hit some lady in the head with the box in Manhattan.
I almost had a lawsuit at 17 years old.
I remember the day to this. I vividly have that imagination.
I was hoping you weren't going to bring that up, but
no, that's the funny part of the story. All right, so you got a Schmidt Cassegrain telescope. You're a teenager at this point, late teens?
Yeah, late teens, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
and when did you decide you wanted to take a shot or a gander at astrophotography?
Well, I actually forgot about this, and I actually started with film.
Oh, okay, wow.
I started 35mm film, and I had a Minolta Maxim camera.
Which was good back then.
Yeah, they don't make them anymore.
Decent.
I took my film camera and I had my bulb shutter like this, like the whole time where you like this.
Wow.
Yeah, I had my bulb shutter. I was sitting there like this. And I just wanted a picture of the moon. Just wanted a picture of the moon.
That's what I did.
So there's no live view. There's nothing. So what you do is you take your picture, you take your roll of picture, you wind the roll up, you're winding and you're driving yourself nuts.
Exactly.
Hopefully you don't rip the film. Wind it up and you send it out. You give it to somebody. And they develop it.
I remember those days.
A week later, you get it back.
Exactly.
And you know what you got? Nothing.
Ah, really? Is that what happened?
Zippo. I got a white blob.
Right.
Nothing.
No focus, nothing?
Horrible.
Oh, okay.
It was disgusting. It was
horrible.
horrible.
Man.
From that point, I kind of put things to rest.
Okay.
And I waited. Finally, the digital age caught up with me.
Okay.
And I was able to move into DSLR astrophotography. And that was definitely a lot more gratifying.
All right, so where are you at now? What equipment do you have actually right now? Explain my basic setup. What do you have now? What are you using?
Well, for astrophotography, I have a Explorer Scientific 127 triplet.
Aprochromatic.
Yep, Apple, and it's based on an Atlas EQG.
Okay.
From Orion.
Good mount? Is that a good
great mount?
Okay.
Great mount. Great mount, definitely underrated, rated for 40 pounds.
Okay.
Probably, don't quote me on this, probably will take up to 50. But if you're doing astrophotography, you really don't want to go, you really want to go a third to a half of the weight capacity. You don't want to go any more than that because it puts too undue stress on the gears.
So let's say if it was rated for 40, you might want to put it at 30?
20,
oh, really?
20.
Oh, okay, really?
I'm at 33, and I'm getting awesome guiding.
I was just going to say.
I'm getting. We can talk about guiding on another thing, but what guiding is basically a camera watches a star, and if the star moves, it pushes the mount to where the star started. so that's basic.
Okay.
But and if you're less than an arc second,
right,
you're good.
Okay.
I was at like 0.3 the other night.
Wow.
And
that's great.
And it was awesome.
Just from seeing what I've seen, I know that's good.
It was just awesome.
Okay, so you have the ES-127, you said, and you got the Orion Atlas mount.
Yep.
What are you using for camera and stuff now?
Camera, I got a STF 8300 monochrome from SPIG.
Okay.
Along with their FW8 filter wheel. It's an 8-position filter wheel.
All right. What about guide scope and stuff?
Guide scope, it's literally one package. I got the off-axis guider from SPIG as well.
Okay.
And inside that I have the SPIG STI color planetary guide scope.
Ah, the camera you use, is that for the camera of the guide scope itself?
That's the guide scope. So you got the camera, and then the guide scope is an off-axis guide, and all it does is it points some light from your light path, from your main scope, right into your guide scope. So everything's at the same focus.
See, okay.
So, and one of the best things on this thing, it's called, and I'm sorry Gary, I know I don't have any permission to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I think this thing is awesome. The KISS focuser. It's made for QHY and SPIG cameras.
Okay.
And basically it's a little self-focuser with a little knurled knob. So if you're just a little bit off with your main camera, you can tighten up your focus on your guide scope.
It's that easy.
It's $75. One of the best things I ever bought.
Okay, now that's sounds like a great equipment setup you have there. Now, as far as programs, software, what are you, acquiring your photos with? What are you processing your photos with? What are you using?
So right now I'm really getting into Sequence Generator Pro.
Okay. I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, Sequence Generator Pro is one of the probably the best all-in-one.
SGP, you'll see that too, guys.
Yeah, SGP, SG Pro,
right.
Whatever. There's a whole bunch of acronyms out there.
Exactly.
So for acquisition, it's your best all-in-one package.
Okay.
For S-Big. And a bunch of other cameras, don't get me wrong, but for S-Big, you use SharpCap.
Correct.
SharpCap, unfortunately, if I could use it with my camera, I would.
Right.
But it doesn't have the S-Big drivers,
okay.
so it doesn't work that way. But Sequence Generator Pro will do everything from run your PhD guiding software, run your autofocus routine.
Push your dummy.
Plates, yeah, push your dummy.
I love that.
Push your dummy too. And it'll do your autofocus, it'll do your plate solving.
Plate solving?
Yeah, plate solving.
What's that? Can you give a brief description of that? What's
so plate solving is great. I don't even use an eyepiece anymore. This thing is awesome.
Wow. Okay.
I don't even use an eyepiece anymore.
Yeah, awesome. I do with my alignment, give the eyepiece, I line up everything, make sure it's good, and then I take out the eyepiece, shove the camera in, and hopefully it's in the frame.
Nope, I don't even do anything. All I do is polar align.
Okay.
And then I make sure my camera's in focus.
Okay.
And then I hit start sequence. That's always assuming you got the sequence. So let's say I want to shoot M81.
Okay.
I want to shoot 15 shots of M81 for 2 minutes.
Gotcha.
Okay? Hit start sequence. It will slew to where it thinks M81 is going to be.
Okay.
It knows where north is. It thinks you're at the North Star already because you polar align.
Exactly.
Okay?
Polaris.
Polaris, yeah, exactly. North Celestial Pole. It's a little bit off, but you're using Polaris as a guide star. So it slews to M81.
Okay.
Your camera's already attached. You don't have a diagonal in there. You don't have an eyepiece in there. Your camera's attached. It's focused. Takes a picture. It's got all the maps of whatever the UCAS. It has all your maps of all the stars everywhere.
It knows where you're pointing.
It knows where you want to be pointing too.
Okay.
So it knows you want to be pointing at M81. So it starts there and does a spiral search out on each map.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it'll say, okay, you know what? I recognize these 152 stars. Now I'm going to try and make sure I put that map over what you just took a picture of. And because I know where you are now, I can slew and get that right on top of your chip.
Perfect.
And it's dead center every time.
Great. Yeah, a lot of my big problem actually is, I'll actually use my, my laser pointer finder. I'll line up on it. I'll put Jupiter on the laser. Then I go over to the main scope, which has my eyepiece. The OTA, look through the eyepiece. I see Jupiter there. I'll go take the eyepiece and the diagonal out and go to stick my Barlow and camera in there, and guess what? Jupiter's not in the frame anymore.
Yep.
See, I don't know if that's something with my alignment, having a sloppy alignment, but we'll get into that eventually later on, guys. We're going to actually show the equipment. I just want to let you guys know this is going to be an ongoing thing. I'm hoping Dan stays with us permanently, and next week, weather permitting and his schedule permitting, I'm going to be out with him where he shoots and observes a lot of the times, and we're going to follow him around. I'm going to basically be a fly on the wall, and let's see how he does and what he does, and maybe he can show us a little bit, and everyone can learn a little bit. Like I said, this is going to definitely be an ongoing thing. I hope Dan's definitely going to be a permanent member of the channel now, and you guys have any questions, I just want to say I'm able to, on Windows 10, I'm able to control everything wirelessly except for my camera right now, even though I know there's a way to do that, but then there's a problem maybe with some pics. I heard people doing Wi-Fi on their cameras and they're having problems maybe with the picture quality or something going on, or speed.
Yeah, speed. Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, but I'm able to get my Celestron Nexstar A to C totally wireless except for the camera. Wi-Fi with that Celestron little Skype portal dongle thing it's called.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any problems running this stuff on Windows 10 and getting it up and running, just make comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm able to get fire capture with no problem. I got Registack 6 up on there. I got, the only one I'm definitely having a little bit of problem with right now is AutoStacker. Love the program. I actually sent the email out to the creator of the program, waiting for him to get back to me. But anything else, guys, you have a problem getting Windows 10 running with, just comment below and I'll help you guys out. I'll actually bring my laptop or, computer down here and show you guys what's going on. But okay, so right now you're taking pictures. where is your interest now? Like, are you more planetary? I know you were talking about M81 before, which is Bode's Galaxy, guys. Messier 81 is Bode's Galaxy. But what's your main interest right now? Are you into the deep sky stuff? Do you take pictures of planets anymore? What do you do?
Well, I do mostly deep spot, deep scape. I'm sorry.
You could say
DSOs, deep space objects.
Okay.
I haven't done a lot of planetary. I personally find planetary a little difficult. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Okay.
I find, believe it or not, deep space objects easier, and I don't know why.
Okay.
You know, there's
maybe
a lot more
because you got the good
to it.
equipment too.
Maybe
It makes it easier.
But that, you know, well, I'll tell you what I've done with the last time I took planetary.
Okay.
And I'll throw the picture up there on the YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
definitely. Put some links and everything.
I took at f20, 22 and a half.
Okay.
With my 18-inch obsession.
Wow, that's a big scope, guys.
So yeah, so I did
Monster.
that. I took, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 frames
Okay.
of Saturn, and came out really, really good. I mean, it's a little fuzzy, but I mean, I just did it because I've never done it before. I said,
Let's just do it, right?
it's out. Saturn's out.
Take a picture.
Take a picture. So I downloaded something called, if you guys have DSLRs, it's if you have a Canon. It's called Backyard EOS.
I've heard of it.
Or Backyard Nikon. They have one for Nikon as well.
Right.
If you want something, and I know technology out there can be very, very frustrating when you come to this.
Oh my God,
with this hobby, the technology moves at such a rapid pace. It's so hard, and the learning curve can be a little daunting. So if you want something, and you have an EOS, or if you have a Nikon,
Right.
and you want something that's super easy, user friendly. I think it's $39 at otelescope.com. Get it.
Can't beat it.
Get it. It's great. You sit there, you do frame and focus. It'll focus for you.
I've seen many videos about it on YouTube.
It's great. It's great, and it's very, very easy. And again, just remember that's just for image acquisition.
Okay.
That doesn't do anything else for you.
No processing or anything?
No, nothing. It's just to get it on your hard drive.
Okay. Now you were saying you're into the deep sky, deep space objects.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, you talked about your program. You talked about your equipment, great equipment you have. You talked about you worked at a store in Stony Brook, and so right now, where do you see yourself going with it? Just keep taking more pictures. Are you submitting any of your work anywhere?
No.
Any contests or anything?
No. I'm not that good.
He is, guys. He's just a little modest. He is.
You know, I don't have. Actually,
I want to give a shout out. Yeah,
Chuck just got his first A-pod.
Oh, was that his first?
That's
actually?
his first A-pod.
I know
Congratulations, Chuck.
Chuck with Chuck's astrophotography.
Yep.
Yes. A-pod, NASA, and I believe he's in Astronomy magazine twice now.
I think so. Yeah, and he put. I want to say the first A-pod, and I could be wrong, Chuck. If I am, I'm sorry. That video that you put up of the sun is just
amazing,
outstanding.
That was the one with the quark, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yep.
Yeah, Chuck from Chuck's Astrophotography, guys. He's on YouTube as well. Chuck, we watch all your videos all the time, and thanks.
Keep it coming.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for your help. And like I said, so this is going to be an ongoing channel, guys. Any problems, programs, anything like that, questions, Dan will probably be the guy to ask for that. He does work in a telescope shop on Wednesdays in Long Island, New York, Stony Brook. Other than that, I'm going to wrap it up for today, guys. Like I said, any questions, comments, anything you want to know or might want to know, if we can't tell you the answer, we'll steer in the right direction of somebody who can. Dan knows a lot of people in the industry. Guys, I just want to say thanks for watching. I'm Cosmic Charlie. This is Declination Dan, and we'll see you soon. Oh yeah, like I said, next time around here, guys, we're going to be out with Dan shooting some.
Yep.
What are we going to be maybe shooting? 81 again? Or
we could do that. We could do M12. You know, the summer's globular time.
We're going to follow Dan and basically be on a fly on the wall. I'm going to learn a little bit. I'm going to have my little setup, and he can maybe help me with. But
absolutely,
we're going to show you guys and take you guys along for the journey and show you how he does it and what he does.
Do some Facebook Live.
There you go. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much for watching.